What's up, guys? So, if you guys been keeping up with the recent news, Western European leaders are like morally outraged about Greenland. Which, by the way, just to give you my take, I'm for the American takeover of Greenland as long as we officially incorporate it as a state. I'm perfectly fine for that. Let's put in Canada as well, and then that's about it. But I'm against colonial imperialism and stuff like that. But for those two specifically, if they get incorporated as states, I'm all for it. But if you've been looking all over the news, all the prime ministers and presidents of various Western European countries have been just basically talking this, talking that, talking about sovereignty this, international law that, as if they've subtly discovered ethics and geopolitics. But let's look at their hypocrisy. And I'm going to give specific dates and specific examples to show you that these people are pure hypocrites. All right? Let's take, and I'm only doing post-World War II, by the way, so people can't even talk about the imperialistic nations that were, no, this is like the democratic international society that we established and that they consider themselves as pure and stuff since. So let's take Portugal in 1972. Mozambique they carried out a massacre of hundreds of thousands of civilians to maintain colonial and territorial strategic control. This was in 1970. Belgium in 1961 assassinated Patrice in the Congo to protect Western access to minerals and influence and for independence. And they only acknowledged this in 2022. Let's take France. In Cameroon, through the late 1950s and 1960s, they violently crushed any sort of independence movement, killing tens of thousands to preserve their grip in Central Africa. Let's go to North Africa, where France also did the same thing with the famous Algerian genocide in the 1960s, about a 11-year brutal massacre and genocide of almost an entire population of men in a society. 1 million men killed, 1 million men, an entire generation crushed. Why? Because they considered Algeria part of France, and it's against their national sovereignty if Algeria breaks away. Let's take Rwanda in 1994. Again, France continued backing the Hutu-led government, even as genocide was being prepared. About 800,000 killed. 800,000 killed, with France and a French commission, specifically in 2021, acknowledged that France bore heavy responsibilities for enabling the conditions. Let's look at East Timor in 1975 to 1999, when Indonesia occupied the territory with help with Western Europe and the United States supplied, covering Indonesia. Let's look at Yemen in 2015, where the UK and other European states sold weapons to Saudi that allowed them to destroy an entire nation, all right? In 2019, an own UK court declared that they were unlawfully aiding Saudi. So let's be honest, bro. None of this is about morality, all right? They've been lecturing us all over the internet so far in these press conferences. This is all about power, and they only care about sovereignty when it protects their interests. So when Europe tries to lecture us about sovereignty, remember, you were rebuilt by American money, protected by American soldiers, and enshrined by decades of imperial violence.